Then do an entire a week's worth of casts in an Australian accent and then revise.
Oh man, can you imagine? People would go nuts.
Yeah, sub numbers might go down.
I could do Aussie Man reviews, and people would be like, "Is that Pig?"
No.
I still couldn't believe it. The first time somebody in my Discord linked me to ICFAR, is that acceptable?
I cast your freaking awesome replays. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, ICFAR. Yeah, and I clicked on it, and I'm like, "Whoa! I didn't realize Pig was Aussie Man reviews." That was a very big surprise.
Not many people know, but 2 and 1 are the same.
They really are. Got a real strong YouTube presence as Aussie Man Reviews, and then also on the Twitch and on the YouTubes as Pig, and burning the candle at both ends, that guy. Mm-hmm. Also super grateful that he gave me a shout out on the Pylon show. That was pretty fantastic of him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, did you hear about this?
No.
So I submitted the Falcon Paladin Hour to the events list for the Pylon show before I knew it would be pushed back 2 weeks. And so they read it, and like they did the thing, and In Control was like, "Yeah, I've heard of that Falcon Paladin guy. He's kind of like the next Husky." And Pig was like, "Yeah, he's really good. I like his stuff a lot, and he's really consistent. And he was doing 2 casts a day for a while there, and he's definitely put in his time." And I was like, "Oh, Pig, I love you so much." I was just full of love, bursting from my heart.
So what I'm hearing is you submitted the Falcon Paladin Hour, but got all the praise for yourself.
The Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open, yes.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was Jordan's idea to name it the Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open. It's so many words. One of these days I'll get it.
FPHO or Geo? Is it Geo or just O? Is it the Hour Open or the Global Open?
It's the Global Open. It's an extra word in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So and we kind of dabbled around with different acronyms and stuff, but nothing really works. And I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know. I guess it's set now.
Yeah. Can't change things once they've been named before the first one even happens. Definitely not.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yep. It is. It's definitely the truth. So Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open. Ha! If I slow down a little bit, I can get it.
I say it fast. Like really fast, but 3 times in a row.
Okay, hold on. Focus.
You're going to write it so you can read it?
No, I don't have anything to write with. What year is it? 1997? Jeez.
No, I meant like in a memo on the computer. You can just type it and then read it. Writing and typing, same thing.
I do have a keyboard, but no. Okay, ready. Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open. Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open. Falcon Paladin Hour Global Open. Ooh, almost messed up at the end there, but I think I got it.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yes, I'm cured.
Of what?
Of not being able to say the name of the open.
I don't think that's an illness. I don't think that's an illness. I think that's just, you've said it one way so long, it's just habit. You don't get cured of habits.
Well, you can get fixed of the inability to do something. Like if there's a mental block, you can get it fixed.
That's not cured.
Okay, fine. Fixed. I'm fixed. Could also apply to
We took you to the vet.
Sexual organs, but not. Oh, what a start. What a start to the pod today.
Yes.
Yes.
This has been undeniably very different to the last 63 episodes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. In every possible way. People will be like, who are these guys? Where did Samicron and Falcon go? And it's just us. I know we're doing it a little bit differently than we usually are, but we're here.
No, I was sarcastic. This is exactly the same as it's always been. What do you want to know?
I was being sarcastic too. What, you can't tell my sarcasm? How long have we been talking to each other, Wade?
See, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. I can't tell if you can't tell if I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
it's a mess.
My deadpan is so good. Yeah, I don't react when you're being sarcastic, and then I just go along with it. And apparently that confuses you. Good to know. I'll file that away.
Your deadpan is cast iron, my friend.
It is. I work very hard at it. Hoorah. All right. So today, what I want to talk to you first about is Castle Rock, which I know you don't care about and nobody cares about. I'm going to make this short and I'm going to make it simple.
Okay. I'll give you 60 seconds on the clock. Go.
What? Fine. So I recognize that J.J. Abrams was producing Castle Rock a few episodes ago. I didn't see it at the beginning. He wasn't a headline name for the show when it first was announced. Somewhere into it, I recognized he was getting an executive producer credit, and I said, oh no. J.J. Abrams, captain of the mystery box, captain of setting things up and then being unable to close them. And, but I said, it'll be fine. He's not actually writing the episodes. It's going to be great. So Castle Rock goes along, introducing so many mysteries. Like, ooh, this is actually something that could lead to something later on. Oh, here's something. This is basically Chekhov's gun. If they don't fire this, it'll be really weird. And then season 1 concluded last week, and they answered almost nothing. And I was like, JJ! I yelled impotently. It was classic JJ.
But it's not his fault this time.
Nope, it is. It absolutely is. It set up the mystery. It did an amazing job of setup. Such a beautiful, well-crafted job of setup. And then when it came to the end, it was like, I don't know what the answers to these questions are. Punt. And then the season ended. Made me sad. Now I'm super worried about Westworld because Westworld also has a J.J. Abrams credit to it, and I can't do it again. That's all. My ongoing feud with J.J. Abrams has another chapter in it.
What you could do is just stop watching one of these shows.
Could do, but I'm something of a completionist, and it takes a lot for me to just stop watching a show entirely.
I've been having this issue lately where people, I can explain to them that what they're doing is silly and that they should stop, and they recognize this but won't do it.
Yeah, no, we talked about sports last week with that very topic.
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring theme right now.
Was it on the pod? Was it on I bet it was on a WoW playthrough. Was it?
It was either WoW or it was Stardew.
Right, yeah. Right. Speaking of which, you can gain access to Falcon and Wade Play the Stardew if you are a $1 a month subscriber on patreon.com to either the podcast or the channel.
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't think we had the discussion here, but bottom line, I acknowledge that my fandom is illogical and makes no sense, and the fact that so much of my emotional well-being is tied into this thing that has no loyalty towards me and I have no control over is dumb.
But I just, I don't know what it is. I find it very unproductive to complain about something you won't actively work on to change. Like, if you find yourself getting annoyed that shows just set up stuff and never pay off, but you keep watching those shows, I just don't know what to do or how to help you.
Well, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to help me with. It's just I'm complaining.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's generally I don't want to sound sexist here, but that trait is generally a female thing where they just want you to listen and they don't want any solutions to their problems. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Here's what's going on. It's twofold. Number one, I enjoy the setup. I really, really do. I really have a great time having all these mysteries introduced and making me create theories about them and talking to other people about what could be going on. And that's really fun. It's one of the best things about Lost is that every week people spent the whole week talking about last week's episode and what it meant and how it related to future stuff and what it meant about past things. And it was a really good time. I don't have any complaints about that. It's just the part of me that needs conclusions and the part of me that needs answers to the mysteries that gets extremely frustrated when there aren't any. So that's one. And number two is I have faith. I have faith that Westworld will take their story in a direction and to a conclusion that is satisfying, even if I don't have a reason to believe that's going to happen.
I don't like faith.
Yeah, I know.
It's the lack of reason.
Yeah, I know.
So
I got nothing for you, but that's the explanation. The ride is fun. I'd like the end to not end in fiery screaming ball of death, but hey.
That's a roller coaster for you. All right, are we done with this? I do have a suggestion. Yeah. Next time you see J.J. Abrams' name on something,
just bail.
Don't watch it. No. Don't watch it until it's finished. And then ask people, is there solid payoff?
Okay. And they can tell me yes or no. That's pretty easy. That's a good question you can get an answer to.
Yeah. Problem solved.
So I'm looking to see, because season 1 of Castle Rock ended in a place that felt very we're done now. Even if it didn't answer the questions. It was a very we're finished now feeling.
Okay.
And it makes me wonder if that's it. Like it's just a mini-series, basically. It's a 10-episode mini-series and they're done. Or if they're going to bring back a second season. And I'm looking here.
I bet there'll be a second season. Who knows what'll happen to Jackie as she heads off west to search for her family's axe-killing history at the Overlook.
I guess we could follow Jackie. That'd be fun. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
That's a little too on the nose for Stephen King. Like, this is Stephen King adjacent. It's not directly Stephen King universe. So if like literally Jackie went to the Overlook Hotel and it's where Jack Nicholson did all of his stuff, it'd be weird.
Okay. Well, maybe she doesn't ever get there.
Ooh, she just has adventures along the way. She's fun. She's a fun character. I'm down.
Yeah, sure. I'll take your word for it.
Castle Rock has been renewed for season 2 at Hulu. Well, there you go.
Well,
it became the most successful first season original launch for Hulu in terms of consumption and reach.
That is a lot of qualifiers.
Is it? Yeah, more people watch it than any other original Hulu programming. Done. Like for Hulu, that's great.
Yeah, but it's them trying to just make something sound impressive that maybe isn't, right?
Oh, No, I don't think they're trying to say we're competing with the Super Bowl. Like, they're not saying that.
No, but they're competing with everything else on the planet for your attention, and that was the most popular season 1 on Hulu.
Yeah. First season original launch in terms of consumption and reach.
First season original launch. So what that means is, does Hulu have anything that's not made by Hulu? Like, that's not original?
Uh-huh. That's what Hulu is. Hulu originally was just we are day after network TV. Yeah.
Okay. So what that means is it's that if other stuff comes to there, well, other stuff has come to there and has been more popular, but it just wasn't original.
Yeah, correct.
It's claiming it has, an award for something that's meaningless.
Oh.
It's setting its own boundaries for its own interest, and that's, I don't know.
Well, sure, but it's not an award. They're not being like, and we're the best TV show in the history of the world. Hulu says this is the best thing we've ever done. We're bringing it back.
It's a boast that makes no sense to me.
Okay, but that's what they have to measure it against. Is this something that succeeds in the terms of Hulu original programming? Should we bring it back or not? They're not saying we're better than you should watch our thing because it's better than everything else. It's did we decide to renew? That's all it is.
They don't need to give a reason for why they need to renew. If the ROI is positive, right, after the first season, and then they decide to renew, that's it. You don't need to qualify it by saying it's the best new original season 1 on Hulu, right? That sounds very manufactured to sound impressive.
But it's the truth, so I don't see how it's manufactured.
It's the technical truth because it's the first season of a series that's an original on Hulu.
Yeah,
right?
Of which there have been like 50 shows.
I mean, that's nice. But that doesn't make it impressive. That statement is put there so for people to be impressed and go, oh, it's the most popular first season on Hulu. Maybe I should go check it out. That's what that does. It's manufacturing.
It says nothing about TV as a whole.
No, I'm not arguing TV in a whole.
Yeah. So it's competition within Hulu, which is it really competition if they're all Hulu babies?
I mean, I assume it does. Hulu's got to pay someone for rights, and depending on its watch time that people will pay for, isn't it? Otherwise, how else would places like Netflix get people to put their shows on their service?
What do you mean watch time?
Well, okay, I pay, let's say, Netflix $5 a month.
Yep.
How does Netflix decide who gets paid portion for having their services, their shows on their service? It's done by whatever it is I watch that month. There's no other way to determine that, because how else do you pay people based on what they're getting watched? If they can get more people to watch an original program over not original programming on Hulu, they get to keep more money.
Okay.
So they make their show sound more impressive.
I guess. Again, they're not comparing to shows that they bought the rights to. They're comparing to shows that they funded and built from the ground up.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Because the shows they buy the rights to might have a larger viewer base, but they don't want people to just go and watch those. They want people to watch their original programming. That's why they excluded them with all the qualifiers. With the qualifier of original.
If you compare it to a show that's been running for 5 seasons, it probably has a bigger viewer base as a whole, but it's not fair to compare it to something that's only had 1 season. It makes no sense to compare it that way.
Why not compare it to that way?
Okay, we don't have as many viewers as The Handmaid's Tale, which is on season 4. Let's mention that as we decide to renew Castle Rock. What? Why?
No. Why mention it at all? Just say, hey, we're renewing. Why mention that we're renewing it because it's the best original programming season 1 of whatever? Why would you do that at all if not to get more people to try and watch it with some ridiculous accolade?
Well, because Hollywood Reporter didn't want to post a 1-sentence article.
Oh, it's not my fault. Hollywood Reporter is talking about a show coming back. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, so you're not the audience. Congratulations.
No. You have to compare all the shows against each other when actually looking at how popular something is, right? Saying something is the most popular of anything, but limiting it to only season 1s and only original programming and only on Hulu isn't interesting reporting.
I thought it was interesting. That's your opinion. You may have
wake up, sheeple.
All right, so Wade runs Hollywood Reporter. And it goes, and the headline is Castle Rock renewed for season 2 at Hulu. And the first sentence is Castle Rock renewed for season 2 at Hulu. The end. I want to know. I wanted to know if there was a season 2, and that is what came up for me when I looked for that answer.
Well, if you wanted to know if there was a season 2 of Hulu, wouldn't Hulu tell you? If you've got a subscription with them being like, hey, we saw that you like the show, it's coming back.
They did not do that.
That's something they should take care of.
Well, they didn't. So Hollywood Reporter stepped in to pick up the slack. Good job, Hollywood Reporter.
I don't think we have time to get into it because I don't have solid thoughts on it. I've never felt the need for any of those kinds of websites. You're telling me something I was going to be told anyway. Right?
So you've never wanted to know if a show you really watch is coming back for the next season and been unable to find it on the service that you're watching it on and went to Google it. You've never done that.
Not really. Because I know sooner or later I'm either going to find the trailer or it's just not coming back, and that's okay because I'm not going to dwell on it. There's always something else to watch.
You don't have shows that you like more than other shows?
I mean, sure, there are shows that I like more than other shows, but I'm not concerned. I would rather spend my time watching another good show than looking up to see if a show that I can't watch yet might be coming in the future.
Okay. Well, I was happy when BoJack got renewed, and I saw the announcement for that, and I was happy when it came back, and I'm enjoying watching season 5 or whatever it is.
Okay, great. I'm happy for you being happy.
Good. I'm happy for me being happy too. All right, so there's going to be a season 2 for Castle Rock. I have no idea how that's going to work. We'll talk about it later. In the Discord, the argument came up once again, is Loki actually dead? And I know the showrunners said Loki's actually dead, but they lie to us sometimes. We'll see. I'm not going to talk about that aspect of it. But somebody brought up the theory that what if Captain Marvel is just Loki in disguise? And it made me giggle so much for that to be a possibility that I had to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
It's just funny because Loki is a trickster god and illusions and all that stuff. And so bottom line, it would be, I mean, Marvel would never do it because it would break some things, but it would just be really hilarious if everybody's really geared up for Captain Marvel and she gets her own movie and then Infinity War 2 comes out and she does all this heroic stuff and then it turns out it was just Loki the whole time with illusions and things. A lot of people would be very, very upset, and I would find that kind of entertaining.
Sure. Yeah. I'm still failing to see how there's any possibility of that being true.
No, they couldn't do it.
Color me not giggled at the opportunity.
All right. I figured we would give you some time to talk about Sea of Thieves because every time I log onto Discord lately, at these hours of the day, I see that you're on the Sea of Thieves. So explain to me, tell me about your adventures on the Sea of Thieves with Just Jordan and his merry crew.
What to tell? Well, okay, so the game was pitched to me as this game that you don't really progress in any real senses. It's all about the story that you carve for yourself.
Okay.
The game, for me, isn't fun, right? In the traditional sense of the word.
Oh.
I could not log into that game and play by myself. It'll never happen.
Okay.
I am purely doing it out of enjoyment with friends.
Gotcha. And so what about the multiplayer cooperative experience is so much better than just being alone?
Well, okay. Doing anything with friends is always going to be more fun, but working by yourself, you're at a distinct disadvantage to anyone who is working with other people.
Oh, so
right.
It really encourages people to team up.
Yeah. There's 2 ways to run the crew, right? It's open or closed. Open just means anyone can join, right? Anyone who's also in an open crew will just try and match you guys together.
Got it.
So when you play with another up to 4 people in your crew, you can better control bigger ships. So if you're by yourself, it's really recommended that you use the tiniest ship possible, the sloop. The sloop's pretty fast, pretty nimble, but it only has 2 cannons, one on either side of the ship. The galleon, on the other hand, is pretty quick, not entirely nimble, has 3 levels to it, and 4 cannons either side of the ship.
So bottom line, as a single person, you can steer the ship, or fire a cannon, or fire another cannon, or... Right, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So when you play by yourself, you're at a distinct disadvantage. If you have any loot and another ship with 2 people comes and finds you, probably going to sink you unless they're terrible at the game.
Because they can fight
really
and sail at the same time.
Yeah, or just because they could park their boat next to yours and then just shoot you with their pistols because there's 2 against 1.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I'd never play it by myself. The process of the quests I feel to be a little too random. So there are 3 major factions. There's like a 4th and a 5th, but I won't talk about them. The 3 major factions which you get quests. There's Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, and Merchants Alliance. Order of Souls is where it's like, hey, go to an island and just kill some skeletons. Merchants Alliance is, hey, go to some islands, pick up, 3 chickens, a snake, and a gunpowder barrel, and bring it to this other island by 1 a.m. on the 24th or something. It has like an in-game timer and days and stuff.
Classic. Mm-hmm.
And then Gold Hoarders is basically, here's a riddle, go to which will have one line unlocked, and it'll be like, go to this island, and the next line will unlock and say, go to, the rock with the painting of the crab, and then you'll go there, and then it'll be like, all right, now walk 7 paces northwest, and then dig. Or it'll just give you straight up a map with X's written on it, and you have to try and guess which island that is. You have a map, like a table map, on your ship, which will have the names, and you have to like match the pictures and then sail there. Okay, you can pick a voyage from a particular reputation, but which like the degree of difficulty or how many individual quests you'll get per voyage can vary. So we did one where you can hold, I don't know how many you can hold, but it's all radial dials. So when you open your quest tab, it's a radial dial of like 8. We picked up a voyage once, and it gave us 8 skulls, right? Because we're doing Order of Souls, and it was like, hey, go to 8 different islands and kill a bunch of skeletons.
All right.
But sometimes you'll only get 1, or it might be just one. Go to 1 island, kill a bunch of skeletons there, or it could be a chapter 1. So you have to clear all the quests that give you in that voyage, and then it'll unlock the second chapter and give you a bunch more.
All right.
The degree of difficulty increases as you gain reputation for completing the voyages, but the loot is so random. Like, sometimes it'll be like, oh, hey, go kill one guy, and you'll get, like, a really good skull. Because when you kill a skeleton, you can keep their skull to sell, and that's like your reward for doing that, an Order of Souls quest. But sometimes it'll be like, hey, go kill 3, and you'll get 3 terrible skulls, and it wasn't worth the time.
Are there any crystal skulls?
No.
Oh.
Once you get to higher levels, I think it gets a little more interesting with the Gold Hoarders, because you can get, you can dig up chests that will on occasion start to cry. We affectionately call them sad boys. As they cry, they will fill your ship with water.
That's a lot of tears.
Yeah, so that can be fun. Apparently people use them in PvP. They like sneak one onto a really big ship and hide it somewhere, and then it'll just cry, and people can't hear it because they're not expecting it to be wherever it is, and it'll slowly fill the ship with water and they'll sink.
Wait. Hide it beneath the ship?
Well, okay, so the big ship, the galleon, has 3 decks.
Yeah.
So there's no reason ever to go down to the very bottom deck, other than the fact that if you get a low-level cannon shot, that's where they'll start filling up with water first, because it's at the bottom. Yeah, right? Yeah. So if you can sneak onto their ship while they're not looking and put that thing down there, it'll slowly start to fill them from the bottom up with water.
Okay, so you actually have to get into the ship and get to that lower deck first.
Well, you can put it anywhere on the ship, and the bottom level will start to fill up first.
Oh, because water flows downhill.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I think it's feasible to put it up in the crow's nest on the top of the mast, and it'll still fill the ship.
They won't notice the tears falling from the sky.
They can't see the tears. The tears are really kind of only like around the chest itself, and then water just slowly fills up in your ship. Well, I say slowly, it's actually pretty quick. You have to actively bail water when they're crying.
Sounds like a pretty solid sabotage option. I like it.
It's pretty good. That's like, I mean, you can have fun doing that, and we do. We have fun like sinking other ships and things like that. But that's kind of it. If I wanted to play a game where I can consistently track my progression through a better ship or something like that, I can't do it here, because you make money, and I'm making money fairly quickly because Jordan and the others have played for ages, so their quests are all high level. So I'm making money quick. I've already got cosmetics that I like for my character, my avatar.
So nothing to buy there.
Yeah, nothing to buy there. And so what it literally kind of boils down to is you're busy, my housemate's busy, and there's no one else to play games with at this hour of the day.
Okay, fair enough. So it's not like Assassin's Creed Pirates where you're getting better ships and better abilities and...
No. There's only 3 ships.
Yeah. Are they... I mean, I assume they're planning on making it more progressive.
I would hope so. I would hope so. There's a free DLC pack coming out on the 27th, I believe, which will have like new islands and new types of quests, like the Merchants Alliance one, which are like go get chickens and snakes and pigs or whatever. We'll now also have ones that are like, oh, deliver these bottles, but don't break any, or bring me 5 plants, but you have to keep them watered on your deck.
Right.
Here are some fine cloths, but don't get them wet, which means...
This is like arbitrary stuff.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything that you can transport by boat.
But the DLC doesn't say anything about, well, now you can get better ships and perks
No,
and upgrades
no.
and things. None of that.
No,
All right.
nothing like that. No skill trees, no abilities. There's only 3 weapons, and 3 guns and a sword that you can have. A pistol, a sniper rifle, or a shotgun. That's kind of it.
Gotcha.
There's just not much variety. It's all sail to this island, sink anyone if you see them.
So so assuming someone has friends that they can play with and are willing to play with them, would you recommend somebody buy this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on how many friends you have, though. If it's just 2 people, that's fine. You can play that. If it's up to 4 people, that's fine. If you have 5 friends who all want to play, you cannot play together.
What? Why?
Yeah, because the largest ship you can get is 4 people, and then after that, it's just random depending on which server you get. So 2 friends could meet in a server, but they couldn't intentionally match against each other.
Yeah. But there's the one ship that has 3 levels and 3 levels of cannons and...
Well, all the cannons are on the top deck,
Oh, all right.
right?
Yeah.
And
Fair enough.
you generally only point the ship at, you're only pointing the starboard or the port side of the ship, so there's 1 cannon for each player. It just happens to be another cannon for each player on the other side of the ship.
Okay.
And, I mean, you can join alliances with people where you basically have a gentleman's agreement not to shoot each other, because you can still sink each other in an alliance. But when you turn, a chest in for gold, any other crews in your alliance will get 50% of its worth as well. So that's the idea. Team up to do some PvE content, and then you both get rewards.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you could theoretically find another galleon with 4 people, and you're with 4 people, team up with them, and then just be on one ship, if that's what you wanted to do. But if anyone from the other ship died, they would respawn back at their own ship. Who knows where that is?
All right. Fair enough. Well, good. Very good indeed. I'm glad to hear it is recommended for people who might be interested in such a thing. This is where people are like, oh, I don't have 4 friends. Or 3
Yeah, well,
friends.
I mean, you can play open crews and then just proximity chat to your crew, right, with strangers.
And I hope the strangers aren't jerkwads who sink all your stuff.
Well, okay, if they sink your stuff, they're sinking their stuff too if you matched up with them randomly.
Yeah, some men just want to watch the world burn, Wade.
It's true, but you can... Okay, so on the sloop, I don't think there's a cage. I think because there's not enough room on the ship, they don't have one, and also because at that point it's also easier for you to just leave a game with a terrible partner and match up with someone better.
Right.
But
Okay.
on the bigger ships, you can vote crew members into the brig, where they literally get to stand in a cage until the end of time, or until they leave the game. So if you get matched up with someone who's trolly, as long as you have a majority vote with the other members of the crew, you can brig people, and they have to stay there until you let them out or they leave.
Ooh, that's really good. Okay, I feel better about that. Nice. Well, good. That is Sea of Thieves, everybody. How's it visually? Is it pretty?
It is pretty, yeah. Good water textures, full day night cycles, there's a storm.
Ooh.
The wind of the storm will push your boat and turn your wheel. And if you try and fight the wheel, it'll pop a hole in your ship and you'll slowly start taking on water. Not to mention that it's storming, so the rain's filling up your boat as well.
Right.
And you can get to a point, if you go deep into the storm, it'll spin your compasses so you don't know which way north is.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can you sink and die in a storm?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, so at the moment there are 2 PvE events that happen on the server, and they're marked by a giant cloud in the sky. One is of a skull, which means there's one of the islands which is built into a fort, has skeletons spawning there, and you can go and kill waves of skeletons and get loot. The other one is a ship, and if you go there, it'll spawn waves of skeleton ships that fire at you, and you fire back at them. We were doing one of these yesterday. We got there, and we're like, okay... We originally went there because we saw someone else was doing them, and we were going to wait for them to finish it, sink them, and take all the loot.
Of course. Pirates.
We got there, and they had pretty much just sunk, and we're like, alright, well, let's see if we can just finish the last couple of waves ourselves, because these things can be annoying. And we got down to, the last 2 ships, and it was storming, heavy.
All right.
2 pirate ships firing cannons at us. We ran out of wooden planks to repair our own ship.
Yes.
I think we only had like 10 cannonballs left, and then a megalodon came up and started eating our ship as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
When it takes bites out of you, it puts 4 holes in the ship.
in like different spots?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you can't have 2 holes on the one hole. That's just a bigger hole.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a megalodon, so bigger hole would be nice.
Yeah, if it took a literal chunk out of your boat, that would, you'd need more than a plank to fix it.
Yeah, I think you'd probably just die.
But that's what it takes to sink us.
All right. That is amazing. I do like, I don't know, I like being able to die. We've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if you feel invincible, it's just like,
Yeah, but we're definitely not invincible in that game, but there's really only like a 30-second respawn timer, so there's no major penalties to death. The major penalty comes when someone sinks your ship, because that's all the stuff's on your ship. If you sink, your ship gets respawned randomly somewhere else on the map.
Wait, what? What? You just sail around
When
until you find it?
Well, no. What?
Your ship respawns somewhere randomly on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you find it again?
Well, you die, you respawn on your ship.
Oh, okay. So the ship respawns and you respawn on it as well.
Yeah, well, okay, the ship can sink and you can still be alive, but whoever sunk you is probably not going to let that stay. Like, they're probably just not going to let you live.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you kind of want to die, so you can find your ship easier. If you survive the encounter, then it's like, I have to go get another ship and find my previous ship.
There is no other ship to get. You can steal people's ship, but they can sink their own ships from within the menu.
Oh.
For that particular reason.
Wait, why do they allow people to steal ships if you can, without any effort, have it sink from underneath you? That's dumb.
Because you can... No, give me a minute to formulate my thoughts. Oh. If someone steals your ship, how are you supposed to, like, counteract that?
You get another ship and chase them?
But there's no other ships to get.
Okay, you can borrow a temporary ship to get back your original ship. This is not hard.
No, it is hard, because you're just asking there to be random ships lying around.
Yeah. If your ship's been stolen, it puts a special ship has been stolen flag on you. And all of a sudden, oh, hey, there's a ship at this dock you can use to go chase down your other ship. Not everyone gets
Not all
one.
islands have docks. Not all islands have docks.
Okay, just off the coast is a ship you can use.
Okay, so by the time you swim to your new ship, right?
Yep.
They're gone. You can't catch up, because they're probably going about the same speed.
Oh.
Secondly, if you get too far away from your ship, right, a mermaid will spawn and that'll teleport you to your ship. So if someone steals your ship, you can still go and try and get it back.
Okay, I still feel like the best way for them to do this is you can't steal someone else's ship, because what's the point? Does anybody even try?
Yeah. If we get into a battle and we can kill everyone on their ship, we steal the ship and then run it aground so it takes damage, takes hull damage and starts to sink.
Can you steal their stuff?
Yeah. That's the point, because when their ship sinks, all their stuff stays.
Got it. So you raid it and then scuttle it.
Well, okay, we scuttle it and then we just pick up all the stuff floating in the water.
Oh, the other way. Got it. Other way around. Okay. Do they ever respawn on their own ship while you're doing this?
Yeah, so you have to continuously kill them until it sinks.
Vengeful ghosts. We took over we killed everyone on this ship, and while we were stealing the booty, their ghosts came back, and we had to kill them again.
They're not ghosts.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, they resurrected, and we had to kill them again.
Yes. Repeatedly, sometimes.
That is so weird. All right, fine. Fine. All right, we'll see if Thieves recommended by Wade. Maybe one day I'll play it. Who knows? All right, I had an idea. I'd like to do a user-submitted portion of the podcast. So what I want people to do, because I've been laddering recently, we've talked about this. I want people to email to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com their worst ladder loss that they can remember. Like, what is a loss that just made you literally want to take the keyboard and throw it through a window?
Oh, that's great. I've got like 10 of these.
Okay, excellent. So send those in. Don't make them super long. Like, try to be somewhat concise with the story, because if it's 800 words, I'm not going to read it on the podcast. But just explain your worst loss and why it was so rage-inducing. And on the next pod, or maybe the one after that, we'll read like the 5 best ones and laugh at you. How's that sound?
Do we want to like load these up and watch them as well if people send in the replay?
Yeah, let's do that. If you have a replay folder of this loss made me want to die, then yes, send those in. if you have it. If you don't, you can just send in a write-up too, and that's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll do that. And maybe as well, I'll make a video compilation for the channel. And maybe not cast the whole game, but just cast the moments where things went bad. And the moment where you had a maxed out army, and then suddenly 18 anti-armor missiles came in and wiped it out, and we'll just cast that part of it, right?
So you were streaming Brood War the other day.
I was.
Yes, and I popped into the chat for like 30 seconds to say hello.
You did.
Which is where I stumbled across $1 million idea.
Ooh, okay.
Which is you mix Guitar Hero and StarCraft.
Okay. Yeah.
You get a Keylogs Pro Gamers, right? And then
I'm following.
you play Can You Macro Harder Than a Pro Gamer?
The answer is no.
No, no, of course not. And I figured for extra difficulty, you can also do the mouse and actually, but the replay just kind of plays behind, like in Guitar Hero, the band's on stage playing or whatever, right? You're not actually controlling them, but you have to try and do all the things that they did.
So it's memorization, just like Guitar Hero is.
Yeah.
So I get it. It makes sense. I think the initial idea was, can you macro harder than a fifth grader?
Harder than a fifth grader. Yeah, it was. But
That'd be actually really fun. I'd watch that.
That would be fun, but that requires finding fifth graders who can macro.
Sure, but it's Korea, man. The show is going to be held in Korea, right? So you'd bring adults off the street, and you'd be like, can you macro harder than a fifth grader? And they just load it up a game of StarCraft and they play. And then if you get beat by the fifth grader, it's awesome.
First person to max out on 200 workers.
No, just play a regular game. I mean, yes, ostensibly it's can you macro harder, but I want to see if the fifth grader can win the game. I don't want to see who gets maxed out first. That's boring.
No, but I think just playing the game defeats the purpose. Because at that point, it's like, hey, let's just pull people off the street and play StarCraft.
Against fifth graders. Yes, that's the hook.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like the Guitar Hero idea where it like comes at units. I mean, it is a little like, hey, let's make a macro trainer.
Yep.
But
I mean, people would obsess over it, like Guitar Hero. People would work
give it
really
points.
hard to be able to do
5
Metallica's
stars,
5-star, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Through the Fire and Flames, except it's innovation versus Mario or something.
Except it's Cyril versus Maru in a 30-minute game.
Yeah.
Maybe not that long. Maybe we'll have mercy on people. Don't do super long games.
No, I want people to be able to like take a replay and import it into the game.
Yeah.
And then play whatever replay they want. So I want people to be able to take Rogue versus Neeb's Fist of Neeb.
Oh my gosh.
55-minute replay and try and do it if they can.
That'd be awesome. People would do it.
People would do it. $1 million idea that I can't make money off.
Well, who do we talk to about making this a reality is the question.
Nice username's my first guess.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't know any StarCraft modders.
Well, I don't... Could you even...
I guess a Reddit post is where to start.
I don't... Is the replay recording keystrokes?
Maybe not. It's recording actions, obviously. So when it recognizes an attack move, it wouldn't know if it actually had a bound to attack. I couldn't imagine a reason where a pro gamer would not bind attack moves to A, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, why would they change that? Actually, are hotkeys visible at all from while recasting, if they have them?
No. Nope.
No? Okay, so you can't see that at all.
Well,
but
actually, I lied. You can. You can see what's bound to, like, the numbers. Yes.
Okay. And then I assume you could find out what they had selected guarantees which hotkey they pressed. Like if they have a barracks on 2 and then there's go between the command center on 1, you know they're pressing 1 and 2.
Yes. Like, I don't know if they hotkey their scouting, Reaper. I don't know if they hotkey all of the units. I don't know.
It turns out it's hard.
Turns out, yes. But we'll bounce it off some people. There's some ways we can do this.
Maybe.
At least get it sent up the ladder.
Yeah, put a post on Reddit. Use your account because people know who you are.
That's true. Some of them do know who I am. Okay, good. I'm on board. Let's make $1 million. You and me.
Yeah.
Well, you get more of it because it was your idea.
Sure.
All right, deal.
I'll take 600,000.
That's not more of it at all.
600,000 is more than half of $1 million. Yes, it is.
I just heard 100,000, and I was like, "What? Got it. 600,000."
I'll take 100,000 more than half. Sure. Also, I just found this.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so good. You need to catch up, dude. Did you figure out how much you can catch up?
Can't catch up.
We're talking about My Hero Academia, by the way. It's not available in your country at all?
I mean, it might be in less reputable parts of the internet. I might be able to find it.
Okay, but it's not legally available.
But The movie will be playing in cinemas near me.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, me too. Very excited.
Yeah, we should go. Here's the thing. Where does it take place?
What?
Like, in the timeline.
Oh,
If it's before the end of season 2, I can go see it. And if it's not, I can't.
from what I understand, that works. I mean, it's just kind of generically when Midoriya kind of has a handle on his powers, and that's about it. Like, that's the really only story-dependent aspect that the movie has, I think.
Well, I mean, if All Might's in it, it's kind of important. I don't.
Yeah, well, All Might's not dead. Like, what do you mean?
No, but if he's Big Might,
He can do that a little bit.
if he's doing things, Big Might, like if he's punching things, it kind
Sure.
of matters.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Here, the events of the film are set between the second and third seasons, so I can totally watch it.
Oh,
'cause it's
there you
before
go.
The third season.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Good. We'll watch that, and we'll have a full podcast on it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably. No guarantees.
I mean, if it's bad, then
Yeah.
we'll be like, well, it sucked.
Well, I'd have more to talk about if it sucks, actually.
Okay, if it's just flat out like wrong to My Hero Academia.
Yeah, which I can't see that happening, but
If it's like Deku throws fireballs as he punches, you
Yeah.
know, we might have some issues. Yeah.
somehow, yeah, nope, no thanks. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. Anyway, current season's really good. I actually just watched the latest episode that I have access to, and it was pretty fantastic. One of my main complaints about anime in general is pacing.
Mm-hmm.
They will take a lot of time doing things that if I was writing it would take 35 seconds.
Okay.
And sometimes that's good. Sometimes a conversation really does a lot to develop the characters and backstory and just give the universe some depth, and I appreciate that. But sometimes they just rehash things that we already know, and this point could have been made literally in 35 seconds and we could have moved on. I'm thinking of a very particular conversation that takes forever in this latest episode for no reason. But I don't know. I mean, again, it's something I'm complaining about that I can't change. That's not going to change. There's really nowhere to go with this. I don't know. Do you agree? Do you think there's pacing problems?
Yes, but not more so than any other format.
Oh, even Western animation, huh?
Western animation, live action, novels, everything can have pacing problems.
Can. Yes.
Okay.
But
I don't think anime in particular has a problem with it. It maybe has an exposition problem where they want to tell people the same thing more often than it needs to be said.
right? And they do.
Again, not unique to the format.
No, not unique. But I just feel like in the anime shows that I watch, it's more prevalent than in the, the other stuff that I watch, which is all basically American and English.
Well, at least there's payoffs in anime.
There can be, eventually.
Usually.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. I guess I'm just thinking of like Dragon Ball Z, where pacing problems there. 4 episodes to power up for this attack.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
And then the next one starts with a 3-minute preview, a 3-minute recap of what happened on the last episode.
I mean, I think Dragon Ball Z's problem is it's got a repetitive, like, it found a cycle that works.
Yep.
And is just sticking to it like nothing else. It's like Goku really seems to, like, his character thrives when there's a tournament arc. I know, we'll hold a tournament arc every season.
All the time.
Yeah. And then every season, it's like, oh, he also needs to discover a new level of Super Saiyan-ness. Point where that just has lost all meaning.
Yep, there is no end to the levels of Super Saiyan-ness. It means nothing.
It's true.
Blech, blech, blech.
Especially when, I think it was like 3 or maybe 4 levels ago at this point, they were like, he's become a Super Saiyan God.
Okay.
And now he's like, now he's a Super Saiyan God. And now he's got something called Ultra Instinct. It's, what are you saying? What does that mean?
Words have meanings.
Why is it any different to the last level? Okay, his hair's blue now instead of red, instead of black, instead of gold.
I don't know how to segue into this, but what I really wanted to do for just a minute was talk about our favorite cookies, because we've talked about different food types and how there are.
Are we talking cookies or biscuits?
Oh, right. So what is the difference between a biscuit and a cookie for you?
That is a good question.
Because
Biscuit is a term used for a variety of primarily flour-based baked good product. Thank you, Wikipedia. That's not useful.
No. So like donuts or biscuits?
No,
Oh, but it's flour based.
but it's not baked. It's fried.
You can bake certain kinds of donuts, can't you?
I don't know. I've never tried.
All right. Well, sorry. You're the baker. You should know.
So biscuits can be savory. Cookies are always sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So in America, a biscuit is a very particular food item that
Called
is
a scone.
Yeah, basically.
It's a scone, but you call it a biscuit, and you call
Yes.
what we might call biscuits cookies. I think there's a lot of overlap in here. Like,
Yeah. See, but cookies can vary anywhere from Oreos to oatmeal raisin to peanut butter to vanilla wafers to, I mean, there's a million different kinds of cookies.
What's a vanilla wafer?
It's a cookie
Wow, thanks.
and is kind of crisp, harder than a soft cookie would be.
Oh, okay. It just looks like a white cookie.
Yeah.
You said wafer, and I was thinking wafer sticks. Like,
Yep. Yeah. I don't know why it's called a vanilla wafer. It makes no sense.
So I think for the purposes of this, we should say all biscuits and cookies, but not scones.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So in which case, I'm going to play the almighty Australian trump card, the Tim Tam.
Ooh, that is pretty good. Is that a cookie?
I would describe it as a biscuit.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm down.
Tim Tam is a brand of Australian chocolate biscuit.
Look at these different kinds. There's chocolate cherry coconut. What?
Uh-huh.
There's, holy smokes, there's lots of different flavors I'm discovering here.
Yeah, people like their Tim Tams, and they like variety.
Mm-hmm. Good for them. Dark mint. Ooh, dark mint sounds good, actually. I bet we have Tim Tams here. Where can I buy Tim Tams?
I don't like mint chocolate. Am I weird?
Oh, nah. Preference isn't weird. I like it. It's like my wife's favorite thing is mint chocolate. I'm okay with it. So if we get some, she'll eat most of it, and I'm down. But can I buy Tim Tam at Walmart?
I googled Tim Tams America, and the first response is, "What has the USA done to our Tim Tams?"
We made them worse, is what we did, probably.
Probably.
So look, Walmart.com. I can totally buy Tim Tams and have them shipped to my house within 2 days. Does my local store have Tim Tams? I don't know. Store availability. Stores in my
Apparently,
zip
they're
code.
not the same.
What?
Apparently, if they're called an Arnott's Tim Tam Slam, they're not the same thing.
Okay, hold on. I see the word original. What the heck is a Tim Tam Slam and why is it bad?
I don't know. I just found a website that said that they found Tim Tams in America, but they were called Slams and did not taste right.
Well, if you found it on the internet, clearly it is true.
Clearly, it's true. Maybe I should, instead of going to the first Google response, I'll go to the second one, which is Tim Tams USA.
Sure. Ooh, they have a website. Okay, good.
Yes. I like right at the top. Find out why it's not a cookie.
It's a biscuit. Yeah, I wouldn't classify this as a cookie. Definitely not.
It's definitely a biscuit, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to buy some.
Are they inexpensive?
It's $3 for a pack. Looks like a good size.
Okay.
Seems fair.
Is it like Tim Tams normal? Is it caramel? Is it the double coat?
I'm gonna get the dark mint and the regular kind.
Okay.
Actually, we have Amazon Prime, so we can get free delivery on Tim Tams. I'm doing that.
You can buy original chocolate 7-ounce pack of 12 for $52. That might be more Tim Tams than you want.
I can buy a 24 pack of Tim Tams for $249. What is happening? That doesn't seem like a good value at all.
You could probably also buy Vegemite if you really wanted to poison yourself.
No, I definitely don't. Nope, no interest there.
Not a huge fan of Vegemite.
That's interesting. I thought it was a very Australian thing.
It is. It's super Australian.
Oh.
It's also not great.
Okay. Makes sense. I've heard it's also not great. What about homemade? What if you're not looking at brands?
I wouldn't... Okay, homemade as in like made from scratch?
Made from scratch or like at a local bakery, for example. I don't know, maybe the bakery that you work at.
Okay, so you can buy cookies that we make at the place where I work. They are okay at best, I
Okay.
think.
What types do you sell?
Trying to pull that up.
Oh, you don't know? How long have
don't
you
make
worked at
them.
this bakery?
Okay, look, I know some of them. I'm trying to find all of them, okay? I wanted to give you a definitive list, okay?
You're so thoughtful.
Aren't I?
You are.
Aren't I?
Australian Classics Gift Box, Tim Tam, Vegemite, Milo, Twisties, Tiny Teddies, Caramello Koala, Anzac Biscuit, Eucalyptus Drops, Fantales, and Minties.
Fantails.
Sure, Fantails. So, does that work for your classic gift box?
Yeah, you should totally buy that. But Fantails, the great thing is, you unwrap them and then you eat them, and then printed on the package is like a little bio write-up of someone famous. But because they're so short, you often don't know who it is because the name's at the very bottom. So it cuts it off, and you have to, like, with like 3/4 of the information, try and guess who they're talking about.
Ooh, that is fun. I like that. Donuts are here. Donuts and cookies are the same thing, according to Woolworths.
No.
Oh.
Not according to them, they're the same thing. They're just grouped. They're
Got it.
donuts and cookies, not cookies, but here's donuts.
All right,
There
so
is a
we've
difference. Pay
got
attention.
rock cakes. What the heck is a rock cake? Is it hard? Is it really hard to chew and like? It
No.
cracks your
It's not. No. They're reasonably soft. Have you
those-
tried the cookie drops, like the jam drops?
Jam drops. Nope.
Jammy Dodgers for the British.
Oh yeah, I've had those.
Yeah, they're kind of like that, except they have like raisins in them.
Okay, those are raisins. I was gonna ask raisins or chocolate chips, but raisins. Got it. Just regular raisin cookies. Interesting. Then we have granola cookie, which we do not have here. That's interesting too. Is it just a cookie with granola in it? Obviously.
Okay, these appear to just be cookies with sultanas and seeds. So granola. Yeah, just cookies made with some granola.
All right. Then we have the ginger and chocolate 5-pack, which is not a combination that exists here. We have ginger snaps, ginger cookies, and chocolate cookies, but never at the same time.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan.
We have a generic chocolate chip cookie, it looks like, called Dreamy Chocolate, but
Yeah, might as well be.
then we have the classic cranberry and white chocolate, which does exist in America. I feel like it's a fairly new thing. It didn't really exist until probably 15 years ago.
Super new then, yeah.
Yeah. Anzac biscuit, obviously. Triple chocolate, which is just chocolate cookie with chocolate chips and white chocolate chips in it, it looks like. Perfect. Nailed it. We have those here too. I believe, does Wendy's sell those? There's a fast food place that sells that type of cookie.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Peanut butter and chocolate chip, classic. White chocolate with macadamia nut, classic. Chocolate oat, classic. Do you have oatmeal raisin?
Is it oatmeal and raisins?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's actually one of my favorites.
I mean,
I know.
okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people in America are like raisins or death. You put raisins in my cookies, and I will knife you in the face.
So I have seen an argument about like whether or not it should be chocolate chips or raisins in their cookies. And well, I think the answer is definitively chocolate chips. I don't mind raisins.
But if you had to choose one,
Like, I mean, in a cookie, I think the chocolate chip makes sense because it's, you know, it's kind of like a sweet thing, and a raisin is still technically still a fruit, right? It's dry,
yeah, sure.
right?
I don't know that
I
it's
don't know.
healthy,
I feel,
but yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm used to putting raisins on like Wheat Bix and stuff instead.
Yeah. So yeah, I like oatmeal raisin quite a bit. It's but I also do chocolate. I'm just kind of an equal opportunity cookie enjoyer.
You'll eat any cookie that's put in front of you.
Yep, I think so. But a well-made oatmeal raisin where it's just like the right ratio of oatmeals and raisins and it's warm out of the oven and it's soft and I have a glass of milk. Ooh, that's fantastic. That's a good time.
So, okay, I need to find it, like, because I'm pretty sure there are Tim Tam instructions for drinking with milk.
Oh, I saw the thing about biting off each corner. So,
Yeah, you bite off each corner, and then you put it in milk, and then you can drink the milk through the Tim Tam for a chocolate milky experience.
oh, all right. Chocolate milky
Which,
experience.
maybe that's what they're calling the Tim Tam Slam, right? Is because you're supposed to put them in milk or like a hot drink. Because I'm seeing that, yeah, the Tim Tam Slam now with pictures.
Tim Tam Slam.
That is not a good like hyperlink image.
It's WikiHow though. It's standard for WikiHow.
Yeah, it is. It's just, oh god, that one down there looks stupid.
There it is. Look, you bite off the corners.
Yeah.
And then you suck the thing through the dulio, and then you slam the melty treat into your mouth.
I feel like it's like 50% wanting to try and actually inform people on how to do things, and 50% making fun of people for doing those things.
Yes, I think you're absolutely correct.
The step slightly further down where the person's actually got the Tim Tam in the drink and they're drinking it,
Yep.
that looks like someone could easily Photoshop that into someone doing cocaine.
Yes.
And then you have Wiki How to Cocaine, right?
Yep, there you go.
I'm willing to bet that is not on here. How to clean your system of cocaine.
Does that count?
The 3 simplest ways to tell if a person is using cocaine.
Nice.
How to treat a cocaine addiction. 3 ways to make liquid cocaine shots. And how to spot signs of cocaine use. The best ways to pass a urine drug test. How to help a drug addict. This goes on and on.
But none of it is how to do cocaine.
No.
All right. Fair enough, WikiHow.
I suppose if you took the steps of how to clean your system of cocaine and then did them backwards, you effectively have a recipe for doing cocaine.
I don't think that's how that works. No. Hoorah.
This podcast brought to you by cocaine.
Cocaine. You know what it's time for?
The NFL Minute.
That's the one. You nailed it.
Okay, so I have a problem. At work, I need to use my calculator on my phone. I always inevitably open up my clock.
Yes.
Here where I need my clock, I always open up the calculator.
That is a problem. Wonder how you're going to fix that one. Or cure it, even. And the podcast is a full circle.
Actually, I have one more thing to say before we go to the NFL Minute. While we were playing Sea of Thieves the other day, yesterday, in fact, something happened with my mic. All right? And I swear to God, swear to whoever you want, I didn't intentionally do anything, right? I wasn't using a program to do this, but it made my voice deeper. Like, it pitch shifted my voice.
Whoa.
Through Discord, and people could hear me, and I was like, hey, how's it going? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Critter and Jordan accused me of using like software and programs, and because I was laughing at them telling me that my voice is weird. I thought they were trolling me. They thought I was trolling them. They thought I was doing this, and I wasn't, and it really hurt my feelings because they called me a liar and some pretty mean stuff.
Auto-tuning.
Yeah, basically.
If you're gonna play with people, don't play with those pricks.
Deal. I certainly won't. Good call.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so NFL Minute. Good times in the NFL recently. Josh Gordon got released by the Browns for injury problems, got picked up promptly by the Patriots. If anybody can make Josh Gordon work for a long time, it is the Patriots organization. We will keep an eye on that. Chiefs beat the Steelers. No defense in that game, 42-37. And the Browns almost won, but the Browns kicker missed a field goal at the last minute. The Browns are now 0-1-1. They tied last week. Vikings and Packers tied. Ties do not belong in the NFL. 49ers beat the Lions 30-27. Broncos beat the Raiders 19-20. So very, very close games in the NFL, which is just the way the league likes it. Bears beat Seahawks in Monday Night Football. The Seahawks look like a mess. Cowboys also beat the Giants. Very, very close. And there are not very many good teams in the NFL, so we will see how things shake out for the playoffs. Usually there's one team that gets in that should not be there and just gets steamrolled, but sometimes they can win.
Stop.
And that's what makes the playoffs so much fun. All right, done. Cool. Cool Badul. So Tim Tam's on order. All right, well, that's going to be it from us. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Again, thanks for being here and listening. Check out the merch if you're so inclined. It is in the show notes. Remember, send me in your worst ladder losses. FalconPaladin@gmail.com. And until next time, as always, thanks for being here and listening, and you take care of yourself.